20 minutes after 9 o'clock, what a performance it was in one of the fiercest rivalries in world sport. Celtic got it done 3-0 over Rangers. And the coach, the victorious coach and one of our absolute favourites, has been good enough to join us. Ange Postecoglou is his name. Ange, we are delighted to have you on SEN. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, cheers, Kane. Thank you, mate.
The performance, I mean, it's as good as you can get. 3-0 against your fiercest rivalry. All the goals came in the first half. I mean, how impressed were you by that?
Yeah, considering the context of the game, and we kind of knew the consequences of winning today gets us on top, and we haven't won against them for a little while. So it was a big day for our supporters. So the first 45 minutes in particular was outstanding. We played some brilliant football, scored some great goals. Probably could have had a couple more. Second half we had to defend a bit more, but I thought we did that well as well. So really proud of the players. It was a big night for us, and they delivered.
You hadn't beaten them for 2 years or just over. You had your first crack, I think, back in August last year where you lost. Did you sense the pressure building? You're at home today in front of 60-odd thousand, the rivalry we've spoken about. Did you feel that pressure?
No, not really. We've sort of been building slowly through the year, and we lost 3 of our first 6 games, and in the Scottish Premiership you can't afford to drop too many. We knew that for us to sort of be challenging, we had to be almost perfect since then, and we have been. So the players have been dealing with the fact that we've got to perform every week and overcome every challenge in front of us. So today was no different. Like I said, the extra significance was that it's a game that means a lot to our supporters. So you want to deliver for them as much as anything. They couldn't come to the stadium last year, obviously, to watch the derby. So to have them back here tonight, 60,000, it was a special night.
The challenges that you face are injuries everywhere. You've had players missing on international duties. How difficult to be managing this squad?
Look, it's why I love doing what I do, mate. It's just another challenge, and any manager or coach will tell you there's always challenges. It's why we're here, and again, the beauty of it is that along the way, we haven't made any excuses or allowances for ourselves. I knew that we had to sort of rebuild a team pretty much from scratch at the start of the year, but I knew I wouldn't take, I couldn't take 2 or 3 years to do it. We had to have success. This year we've won the cup, and so within that I've just made sure that along the way we haven't made excuses. If we've had players missing, we still expect to perform, and the players have embraced that sort of culture and environment.
It's tough to understand the rivalry between Celtic and Rangers. I mean, the first game I think was in 1888, and basically the differential between wins and losses is negligible. I mean, I think it's about 6 performances difference, wins and losses between the two sides. Can you explain to us what it's like?
It's Port Adelaide Crows 1,000 times more, mate. So it's pretty intense. It's because it's generational. It's passed on from great grandfathers to their kids, or great grandparents to their kids to their kids to their kids. So it's just entrenched in society here that they're pretty passionate about this football club. It's more than just a football club, to be fair, for them. It's part of their life, and when you invest so much, as I said, when you invest generationally, your whole family into something, then it means a hell of a lot. And when you've got your greatest rivals in a game like today, knowing the consequences, our job is to try and sort of send them home happy, and give them something to bounce into work tomorrow. I don't know how many will get there, but they bounce into work, feeling good about things.
And you've won them over. When you were appointed, the supporters and the media, they couldn't even pronounce your surname, and they were questioning what you'd done in the game and where you had been. And as you alluded to earlier, it got off to a bit of a rocky start. Now they've got about 4 songs screaming your surname. I mean, are you surprised how quickly you won them over? And were you conscious, and did it bother you that they were sceptical about your hiring?
No, I wasn't, because it's kind of my history anyway, mate. I mean, anyone who knows me in Australia, wherever I've gone, there's always a little bit of a question mark against me and what I do, even though I've had a lot of success. And the only thing that surprised me is they've managed to fit Postecoglou into a song, mate. I thought that would almost be impossible. But look, the fans have been brilliant. I know how important they are to this football club. I think when I came here, people were kind of not really aware of, just how much knowledge we have about football over here, and I was well aware of how important the supporters are to this football club. So a big part of my mission was to get them to believe in me. I said it from day one. I think my biggest mission was to get everyone to believe in me, because whatever ideas I had, whatever way I wanted to work or do things would be meaningless unless people actually believed in me. So, they've been fantastic since the first day, to be fair, even though they probably had to Google me to find out who I am. I'm one of theirs, and they supported me. And I haven't won them over totally yet because I haven't given them the success that I want to give them. But, they're certainly right behind me, and more importantly, the team.
Ange, conscious of your time, I know you want to celebrate with your family and your players. A lot of people asking about the state of Australian football and where the Socceroos find themselves in at the moment and their struggles to qualify for the World Cup. Are you following it closely, and what's your view on it?
Yeah, I'm following it. Obviously, I've got a vested interest. It's my nation, and we've qualified for the last few World Cups, and you want them to do it again. It's not an easy path. We know that. I think from my perspective, the signs have been there for a while that the rest of Asia is improving, and we've kind of stalled in our development. But look, the 4 years I had in charge were fantastic for me. We won an Asian Cup. We qualified for a World Cup, and I think we need to maintain those kind of standards. We should be disappointed if we don't go to a World Cup. It's not about saying, well, let's just miss one so we can learn. I think we've done enough learning. Our expectations should be to qualify for World Cups all the time.
And one question I really wanted to ask you, a bit of controversy about Justin Langer and whether he maintains his position as the Australian cricket coach. The balance that you have between the modern generation and the inclusion of player power, but also being a hard coach when you need to be and that disciplinarian that you need to be. Is that difficult for you in 2022?
It's not difficult, it's just different. When I first started coaching, 25 years ago, it was a different environment. I'm sure it was different for you. We rarely questioned coaches back then. We were kind of yes sir and off we go. Whatever he wanted us to do. Now it's different now. Players kind of you need to explain things to them. You need to get them to believe in something. I'm still very old-fashioned in many things, not old-fashioned, but old school in a lot of things, because that's the way I was brought up. But I also understand that young people today are a little bit different. So, the key to coaching is to constantly evolve the way you communicate with those people around you, whether it's players or staff, because, like I said, you can have the best ideas in the world, but if people don't believe what you're saying or aren't convinced by what you're saying, then you can't create the right kind of environment. I don't know Justin, I've never come across him, but he picked up an awfully challenging job, and I think he's done an outstanding job in there. And it's not easy. It's not an exact science. I think sometimes people from the outside think that coaching or managing is an exact science. It's not. There are things happening all the time that people aren't aware of that you've got to deal with. And ultimately, you've got to be judged on what people see out there when the contest is on. So, from that point of view, I think Justin's done a great job.
Ange, we're so conscious of your time. We could do it for hours, mate, but got to let you go. Congratulations on your performance. We feel a million miles away. We are, but we're following you so closely. You've got a lot of fans over here, obviously, so thank you for joining us.
No, I appreciate it, mate. Good man.